Good morning, everybody. Dwayne Nelson again here on Fat to Fit by 50, we hope. I'm going to do something this morning that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I promised y'all or talked to y'all about getting a measuring tape and taking some measurements. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I finally managed to get a hold of a material measuring tape. So, without further ado, let's see what kind of sizes we are. I'm going to go ahead and measure my different muscle groups, or even fat groups, if you want to call them. I don't believe how my stomach is pretty much. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take some measurements. This ain't something I'm going to do all the time. This, I think, should be like a long-term tracking device. Probably take measurements today and then maybe again in 3 weeks to a month. Taking measurements every day is not going to make a massive, your body's not going to probably move that much every single day, and to take measurements every single day is probably pretty much a waste of your time. So, without further ado here, and we'll try to get all this here on tape, and that way we can all see where we're at here and find a decent way to do this. Try to get right on the high point of the bicep and what have you, and see if we can get the end of the tape around there where we can see it. It ain't easy trying to do this to yourself. Okay, right on the point of the bicep pretty much. It's kind of off. It ain't the easiest dadgum thing I've ever done. It's probably one of the least easiest things I've ever done. And I could do it easier if I had the tape on my side, but I'm trying to get it where you can see it on camera. Okay, in a flex position, it looks like we're probably fairly close to the deal there. What does that say? That's kind of because this is the side of the camera I'm taking this from. The numbers are backwards. That's 15 inches. Right at 15 inches on my bicep. That's a pretty rough one to try to do by yourself. Hell, my dadgum forearms are only an inch smaller, not even quite an inch smaller than my bicep. I've always kind of had Popeye arms, I guess you could say. And for grin's sakes, both of these arms, I'll go ahead and measure the other one. The other one's, sometimes one arm can be a little bit different than the other arm. And in this case here, mine are exactly the same, right at 15 inches. And I'm thinking I'm pretty much right on the peak, and everything's pulled pretty tight. And so, yeah, right at 15 inches is where my biceps, my upper arms are. We're going to get some upper body measurements. I'm going to figure out what our chest is, what our belly is, and these will probably just be in relaxed state. My stomach doesn't right now, and my chest, even if I flex it, it's not as striated and everything as I would like it to be one of these days, hopefully. If I really flex and suck my stomach in and all that. But what I want to do is see how much natural, just relaxed state body fat in my stomach area that we possibly have right now and could possibly stand to lose. So I'm trying to get right across my love handles here. Get my tape. Make sure I ain't got any twists in it. Okay. Just in a completely relaxed state. My stomach is right at 43 inches, it looks like. Right at the belly button there. It's 43 inches. That's where the end of the tape is. I don't know if you can see the end of the tape. But pretty much it's completely relaxed without pushing anything out or sucking anything in or anything, just in a completely relaxed state. Right now I'm 43 around the stomach. Now, of course, my son and my wife and all them, they don't agree with where my waist is, but I'm going to measure my waist here just to see. And right now, it looks like if you measure my waist, right around 38 inches in the waist area. And you can see I have no butt, so that's unfortunate, but that's just the way the good Lord made me, even back in my younger days, whenever I was doing lots of squats and everything else. My good buddy Kenneth Dale Priest, he used to always give me a hard time. He was my workout buddy back in the day whenever we were kids. And he gave me a hard time about my non-existent caboose all the time when we were working out. So it doesn't matter to me, ain't no big deal. One other measurement I was going to take is see what we measure around the chest area. Just to see if I can find a good way to do this. Make sure we don't have no twisters in it. Now I'm gonna try to do it like that. I get my other arm up over here. Okay, now, and I'm gonna tell you 38 in the waist is pretty dadgum big. I can't believe that even in my waist, I'm 38, you know. Most of the jeans and stuff I wear, or the ones that I was wearing, was 34s. Of course, I wear a lot of sweats and stuff now, but, okay, my chest area, let's see if we can flex it. I don't know, it's very difficult to flex your chest and measure it at your chest at the same time. But that number right there, whatever that is, let me see. I'm blind, so 44. 44 is where my chest is. So we have a few measurements here that we can go by to give us another tool to see how much muscle we're building, how much fat we're losing. See if our arms are growing any, see if our belly's shrinking any, and things of that nature. You kind of say, well, why don't you take lower body measurements, whatever. My legs are quite stout. They're not huge. They're small. I don't have a problem with the size of my legs. For the things that I would kind of like to do, I think, one of the things that I would really like to do is try to do the American Ninja Warrior deal. And in order to be able to do that, you really don't want a whole lot of lower body weight. So trying to build the lower body muscle just to add more weight for your arms to have to hold up is not a marvelous idea. I mean, my legs get running work. I'm walking and running right now. And I might start dragging a tractor tire or something like that to work my legs. I'm not going to try to build any major mass in my legs. I mean, get them stronger, yeah, that's great. get them more endurance, get them more distance work or whatever. And I hate distance work. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I'm a sprinter. I am not no freaking marathoner. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is that if I build a bunch of mass in my lower body, it's not going to be beneficial to that type of competition, which is kind of competition I would like to get involved in. I have tried to find locally around here some maybe some ninja style gyms where they have all the contraptions and everything to climb on and work on, and try to work on your upper body strength, pulling yourself around and stuff of that nature. I haven't found anything yet. I may just have to build my own crap, and if that's what I got to do, that's what I'll do. That's what I would like, where I would like to go, is maybe try out for something like that. I see guys my age doing it. There's a few guys my age out there doing it. A few guys out there older than me doing it. So I'm not counting myself out by any means. And I think that if I could, get some more upper body work to and lose that belly, losing that belly, and keeping a lean frame, a lean frame, even though a lean but strong frame. Very fibrous, very stringy, if you want to call it, whatever, very muscular, lean frame, without any more extra weight than you have to have in order to make your chances of success much greater. The less lower body weight you have in competitions of that nature, the way better off you are. I mean, I don't care if you're, carrying around, used to swinging from grapevines like a monkey all the time with junk hanging all over you. When you get into one of them competitions and you got to hang here, then you got to hang there, and you got to swing here, and you got to swing there, and you got to hang on to rolling logs and all kinds of other stuff, your upper body strength, your grip, your all those things are highly, highly tested in that kind of a competition and environment. So the more weight you put on your lower body, the more you decrease your chances of success. Now, even in the agility stuff, you have some big bulky legs. Most guys, I'm not saying all, because there are some guys out there that got some big legs that are very agile. Don't quote me wrong on that, because there's some football players out there, NFL players and stuff. There's some big old boys, but are very agile. But for the majority of cases, most people with large legs are not the most agile people in the world. Why? Is it because that body type can't be agile? No, it's not because that body type can't be agile. It's because most of the people that have those kind of legs are not doing things that require agility, so therefore their agility is not there. I mean, it's just like anything else. If you don't use it, you lose it. So, if you have a skill set or a talent or whatever, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's just the way it is. Well, that's the same thing when it comes to agility, flexibility, all that stuff. As we age and we get older and we get 2 and 3 jobs and all the stuff that people do to make a living and whatever, and you come home tired and you relax and lay down on the couch, sleep begets sleep. The more you sleep, the tireder you are, the more you want to sleep. It's just the way life is. I mean, it's a vicious circle. And the problem is, whenever you do that kind of stuff, you come home, you sit down on your butt, you kick on the TV, you grab your bag of potato chips, and you kick back and you relax. You start munching on your potato chips, and you're watching everybody else on TV live while you're sitting on your butt not living. And that's pretty dang much the truth. And so the more you do that, the more flexibility you lose. The more flexibility you lose, the more strength you lose, the more endurance you lose, the more stamina you lose, all those things. And, you know, everybody says, well, I don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to get up and do that. I'm so tired. Well, yeah, you're tired because tired begets tired. So, you know, get up off your butt and do something about it, you know. You know, some people have medical conditions that don't allow them to have an excessive amount of energy, but for the majority, for the most part of people, most people have the power of the control of how much energy they have and they have in their tank. It's just like any car, you know. If you don't put fuel in the tank, the car don't run. If you don't oil it, the car don't run. Falls apart, you know. You don't put air in the tires, it don't go round, you know. Well, that's the same way your body is. You've got to maintain it in order to advance it, to push it forward, to make it go back to where you can exceed to do things that most people your age ain't doing. And that requires dedication, it requires motivation, and it requires perseverance, you know. It does, because you know, this morning when I got up, I did not feel like working out whenever I got up this morning. And I really didn't. I got up, I got my coffee made, I went soaked in a hot bathtub, I brushed my teeth, scrolled through Facebook a little bit, and kind of watched, there was a show on TV or something this morning. I kind of watched a few minutes of it. And I was finally like, you know what, if I don't get up off my butt and get out of here, I'm not going to get my workout in. And so that's exactly what I had to do, was get up off my butt, get out there, and get, you know, get motivated to get moving and get my workout in. And even when I got to the track, I wasn't that motivated, you know. One thing is, you know, I've been working with heavier weight this week, and so it's actually twice as much weight as what I was working with before. Now I can tell a massive difference in the amount of gains that I'm getting out of using the heavier weight, you know. I can, but I can tell you right now is my muscles are being taxed twice as hard as they were before, and so they're not as excited about getting out there and doing that. So we got to make them excited. We just got to get out there and force them to do it, whether they like it or they don't. And you know, my first lap around that track is the hardest by far, because you don't have your blood pumping, you don't have your, you know, blood going to those muscle groups yet, none of that. So after you make that first lap, the second lap is much easier, and the third lap is much easier. Why? Because now you've already pushed blood and oxygen and all the nutrients to your muscles that they require in order to build. And so now they're ready to work. They're ready to work. That first time around, they're not ready to work. They're still sound asleep, and they're going, hey, dude, why don't you just drop this thing and get it off of me? I don't really want to do this today, you know. But once you get that blood flow in there and you get everything pumped up, and the oxygen and all the nutrients going to your muscles that your muscles require in order to grow, then at that point, things get a whole lot easier. That second lap around the track. Yeah, it's still a lot of work, and it's still hard, but it's tons easier than that first lap. Anyways, I wanted to make a video with my measurements like I promised. Now we know where we're at, and we'll be able to tell if we are gaining, losing, what we're doing. The cigarettes, 3 yesterday. And hopefully we're improving. You know, it was 3 the day before, which is, you know, better than the 4 that I've been doing before that. So at least we kind of crossed that hurdle. If we can knock another one off the list, we'll be in great shape. And just keep knocking them down. We'll be in excellent shape. But for right now, video's stringing out a little long, so I'm going to let y'all go. And I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, comment. Anything you can will be good. Thank you.